Om Ajnanam Timirandhasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ya Kundenda Tusharaha Jajavala Ya Veena Varadandha Manditakara Ya Shweta Padmasana Ya Brahmanchuta Shankara Prabhative Deve Sara Vandita Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Buddhi Pradam Sharade Buddhi Pradam Sharade. Jai Gurudev, all of you, welcome. So, you have any question? Please. Nobody have any question? Please ask. Then otherwise.
There are so many problems with the sexes in our world. When you are a woman, you suffer from inequality. When you're a man, you have problems with your emotions. And my question is, your inner true self. I thought it's without sex. It's the atma. It's a part of him. But he is male, and I don't understand.
We use the word he because that's what is our language is, you know. But for the Atma itself, there is no gender in such, you know. We can't say Atma have a gender of male or female. You see, whenever the Atma incarnate here due to their karma, they take a certain gender to finish a certain karma which is linked to that. That's what Bhagavan Krishna said in the Gita. No? Due to your karma, you will be born in a certain womb to fulfill a certain dharma. No? So if we are talking about gender, can a man have babies? That is the dharma of a woman to have, no? So when we talk about that, women have their own dharma. The strength of a man and the strength of a woman is different strength, you know. Very often we say, yes, women are more weak than men. In reality, it's opposite. A man will not be able to bear the pain of a childbirth, you know, whereas a woman have that capacity of bearing a very strong pain. You see, everybody have their own dharma. And on the spiritual path itself, you see, when you grow in spirituality, that transcend the gender issue. Because then you see the equalness everywhere. That's why Bhagavan Krishna also said in the Gita, chapter 5, verse 10 of Bhagavad Gita, he said, to me, none is dear or hateful. I'm equal to both. But those who worship me with devotion, I am in them, they are in me. In the same verse itself, you can see both contradiction happening. You know, first, in the first part, he said, you know, for me, I'm equal to both. You know, there is no love one and there is no hateful one. It is just like the sun when it is shining, okay? the sun shines equally on everything. On a rough surface, on a shiny surface, on a polished surface. You know? So on a rough surface, when the sun will shine, will it reflect the light? It will not, no? But if on a polished surface, the light will be completely different. But on a mirror surface, the light will shine even much more. So you see, that is a state into which, when we talk about atma, the atma is not touched by neither the gender issue that we talk about nowadays, you know. So that is on the spiritual base, where you see when Bhagwan said to me, that is not. Then here we are talking about the atmic point of view. But then the next part, what he said, those who worship me with devotion, I live in them, they live in me. So again, he said that they are, for me, both is equal, but there's a different. There's a but. Those who elevate into the ladder of spirituality, those who come to the point of knowing the self, those who have the glimpse of knowing the eternity of the atma itself, there is a big difference how they view the whole world. So they perceived, those who have had a glimpse of the atma, they recognize that what dwell within oneself dwell equally in everything. Here I'm not saying only human being, I'm talking about also dwelling in the creation itself, the emanation of that one reality which have become many. And that is where spirituality is, to have that knowledge of spirituality is very important. Otherwise we can just scream out and make big fight about gender equality when we are all equal. Into our true aspect, into our essence of atma, we are all equal. It's just that due to karma we have to do a certain role into the world. And Bhagavan have said that you have to do your role. You can't escape these roles. No? Yes.
Encounters often a lot of conflict, and that brings up feelings of guilt, probably, to be different in this world, or on a different path, and maybe, on at least on the outward, than other people. How can we deal with feelings of guilt? How can we transform them?
You see, when you have guilty feeling, what is the cause of these feelings? Very often people get attached to the cause of it. Because when you do something right, you feel certain gratitude towards life. No? But when you do something wrong, what is reproaching you? It is your inner self, no? Because you know what is right and what is wrong. Nobody have to come to you and say, oh, you have done something wrong. You know it because you have that guilt feeling inside of you. And your guilt feeling will not let you at peace until that is resolved. Because it's not from the outside again. Again, it is back to your own heart saying, you have done something wrong. And you know it is wrong. But yet, because you have not come, because of the ego, personality, you have not come to the point of saying, yeah, I have done something wrong. How many people would say, yes, I have done something wrong? Nobody will say that I have done something wrong. Nobody will admit that, yes, I have done something wrong. Everybody like to put the fault on somebody else because it's much easy. You take your garbage and dump it on somebody else. It is not your business anymore. How many times in your life you have done that? Do you think that guilt feeling will disappear? No, it is always there. Deep inside, it will amplify itself, it will come back again. Every time you do something, again it will come back. Yes, I have done something wrong. And you know it. 1,000 people will tell you, no, it's fine, but yet you know deep inside of you, I'm doing something wrong. But yet you will do it again and again. Because you have accustomed yourself in lying towards yourself. So your lie has become so real, but you start to believe your own lie. The same people have told you, from childhood itself, no, it's not right to do like this, it's not right to do like that, it's not right. You want to express yourself, you want to be yourself, but yet you have been told no, 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 no. So you have built layers and layers, layers and layers of cover, which you can't even breathe. You can't be yourself, because by being yourself, you will be scared of society. You will be scared of what people will think about you. How many times nowadays you can say, how many people say, yes, I am living my life. When I wanted to be somebody, but yet my parents have told me, no, I can't be that. My friend have told me, no, I can't be that. XYZ have told me, no, you have to study, you have to become somebody, you have to have a certain title in life. You have to earn, you have to work, you have to be. Look, how many parents do that with their children? Does not all the parents do that with their children? Can your children come and tell you, no, I want to be different from what you want? Would you agree with that? No, you will never agree, because you have a set rules what you have put inside. Your parents have put inside of you. Your parents have done the same thing. And you are playing the same game. There is no mother who will come tomorrow and say, yes, my child, you want to live for God, go and live for God. I'm supporting you. Who will tell that? No, you will have first the idea, oh my goodness, my poor child, you are letting go of everything. What kind of life would you ruin your life? That will bring a lot of guilt inside. Thanks God, in history, there was mothers who stand for that and bring their children into that. There is a beautiful story of King Gopi Chand. No. You know the story of King Gopi Chand? Anybody knows? He was from the Nath Sampradaya, one of the great founder of the Nath Sampradaya. He was a great ruler. Very young age his father passed away and he became a very great ruler. And he had everything. So he enjoyed his life. He had 3 wives, and he was happy. He had many children. He had palaces. He had a wonderful life. So one day, but he loved his wife and he loved his mother so dearly. His mother was a widow. Maya Mavati was her name. So one day she was sitting on the balcony. As she was sitting on the balcony, she saw her son taking bath with his free wife and engaged in all sensual activities. So seeing that, she was crying. So the tears dropped on the back of the king. So when the hot tears fell on his back, he looked up and he saw his mother crying. And he said to the mother, "Mother," he started shouting, "who have hurt you? Please tell me. I will fight. I will kill that person who have hurt you, who have made you cry." Though the mother didn't say anything, kept quiet. When the son was calm, Gopi Chand was calm, the mother said, "My dear child, I want to tell you something. I'm telling you, but I was crying looking at you. It reminded me of your father. It reminded me how your father was young, beautiful, and he have a lovely wife, and he also was enjoying himself very much. But it all finished. From one day to the other, he was just a pile of ash in front of me. What have he achieved? Nothing. So my son, when I'm looking at you, I see the same. I see the same quality. But have you asked yourself, what have you achieved truly in life? What have you achieved spiritually? But you can say, yes, I have lived life fully. I see the same. So the King Gopi Chand held the mother's feet and said, please, mother, tell me what to do. And she said, my son, leave everything and depart to the forest, and never come back until you have attained to what you have come here. Then you can come back. So the king took the word of the mother so strongly and left everything and went to the forest. So here in the forest he met his guru, and under the direction of the guru told him, because you see the vanity, when somebody have everything, there is also that vanity inside of oneself. He was a king, he had everything. So he wanted to test him. He said, listen, my dear child, put off this gown, put a mendicant robe, and go begging in your kingdom. So he went, he took the begging bowl and he went begging. And when he went begging, he was going from door to door, but everybody who saw him, they recognized their king. And of course, they gave happily. So finally, he went to his queen. When the queen saw the king, they said, what the use of all this jewelry, seeing you in that state, So they removed all the jewelry and put it in the begging bowl. So the king turned to one of the not assistant, but one of the monk, and said, please take this to the ashram. That's what they have been given. So finally he went to his mother, Mayamavati. He knocked at the door, the mother opened, and the mother greeted him by yogi. And she said to him, my dear yogi, you have come to beg at the house. What can I give you? I don't have anything to give you. What is dear to a yogi like you? So the mother said, but I will have to give you something. I have just free advice to give you. The first thing I advise you is sleep well and protected in a fort. Sleep well in a well protected fort. Second, sleep on a bed which is very soft. And third, he said, eat the most delicious, nicest food you have. He was very confused. He said, that is a free advice I have. Then he said, but mother, how is that possible? I am in the forest. What are you talking about the fort? How can I sleep on in the how say? How can I be protected in a fort? There is no fort in the forest. There's no palace in the forest. You tell me to sleep on a bed, but there we sleep on the floor. In the ashram, you sleep on the floor, not on the bed. And food, whatever is given to me, that's what I have to eat. So then he said to the mother, well, if it was another woman telling these words, I will think that she's crazy. But knowing you, I know that there is a deeper meaning behind that. Can you please explain that to me? Then she said to him, my dear child, when I tell you to sleep on a fort, that is to protect you. Know one thing, that you are handsome, you are young, and many women will come, many people will come to listen to you, young and old will come and try to be near you. But you have to protect yourself, and by protecting yourself means to be under the protection of the Guru. Constantly seek assistance of the Guru, be in the company of the Guru. That will protect you. And listen to the satsang of the Guru, that will protect you from everything else. When you have the deeper understanding and the deeper meaning of that, that will protect you. That is the fort. Sleeping on the bed, meaning stay awake, do your sadhana. Do your sadhana, get to the point, but you can't stay awake. But when you fell asleep on the hardness of the floor of the soil, or, in the forest, it will feel like velvet itself. You can see when you're tired, you can just sleep anywhere. You don't bother you whether it is on a hard surface or on a soft surface. You will just sleep. So come to that point where nothing bother you. It's not the softness of the bed. It's like go away from that notion that everything you can sleep. When you're tired, you can sleep anywhere. And eat, which means appreciate. And that appreciation, what you receive, just be happy that you have something to eat. And eat it and be grateful about that. So that's what that mother gave to her son. Yeah. And that's what actually parents should encourage their children, to do their true dharma. The problem is that parents themselves doesn't have that knowledge of dharma. How would they put that into their children? First, the parent themselves have to have that knowledge. So the same thing, you see. You were talking about guiltiness. When you are doing your dharma, when you know for sure what you are doing, guiltiness will not awake, because there is unsureness inside of you. There is this uncertainty. You do everything with uncertainty. Automatically, you will feel guilty, because that is not in tune to what truly your life purpose is. Anybody? Nobody asks. That is your question. How to find oneself. What is it? Ah, very easy. So tell me something. This is one question I have. I'm reversing back the question to you and to others also. What is the purpose of life? What is the how to say, the purpose of life? Why are you here? Come on. Yeah, that is the same question he asked. So I want an answer. I don't want a question. Anybody? That is so cheap answer. I don't want a cheap answer. Come on. You're all having wonderful job. You're all having a wonderful family life. You don't think that this is your dharma also? Yes or no? Or you are not so sure? Are you happy in your life? I mean, true happy. But you don't have any regret. You don't have any, how to say, sadness, Tell me. That is a regular, the animal do the same thing. What? So, what is the aim? So right now what you are saying, you're talking about the material aim of life. So even that, what do you think when that aim is fulfilled, you will be happy? More or less? Or you will have more problem? This is the beauty of Gita. It breaks that and really said, when you see when Bhagavan explain that dharma itself. Have you ever read the Bhagavad Gita? Tell me. Lightly. Bhagavad Gita is not to be taken lightly. This is a problem. We are talking about dharma, but yet no one have the notion of what is the true dharma. Mataji said, yes, we have to discover who we are. This is, okay, we can elaborate on that. Your dharma is to focus on the outside. And other people's dharma vary. But this is not a universal dharma. It's true, you have a dharma, you have a mind, you have a intellect which is focused on the outside. Of course, you will do a certain dharma to achieve a certain level into that. But that is not what will give you that deep fulfillment inside of you. You will achieve that, what Krishna said, you can achieve the whole wealth of the universe, but yet still it will never be, because greediness will be there. It will never get fulfilled. You want 1 million? Once you get 1 million, you will want 10 million. When you get 10 million, you want 100 million. When you have 100 million, you want billion. You see? So that will never finish. Even the whole billionaire, when you see them, they want more and more and more. It's never enough. When we look at Lakshmi Mittal, for example, it's never enough for him. You have billions, but is he enough? No. And the fear to keep all this, to maintain all this, it's also as great as it is. You know, in case he lost 1,000 rupees, it's too much. You know, you may lost 1,000 rupees, probably would not make much, but for him it will make a lot. So like that, you see, even that, when you see that if I fulfill that dharma itself, will I be happy? Because the whole aim of life is to be happy. That's why at the beginning I ask, how many are truly happy? How many can say, yes, I am doing my dharma, I am fulfilled, I am happy? I tell you something, I have seen beggar on the street more happy than people who have so much stuff. And you can see it, you see, in the eyes of the people. Yeah. So, like you said, the aim is to be happy. But what will make you happy? You know, that differ. That state of happiness differ. The mind state, you know, of if I gain something materially, will I ever be happy or not? Yes, you want a car, you get a car. How long would you be happy with that car? 1 month? Eh? No, you see the psychological state of man is that the moment I have what I desire, that will disappear and it will come to another point. You know, you will seek of man, you know, because that is not the true dharma in itself. This is not the true life purpose. Like Madhuji was saying, without knowing who you are, if I come and ask you, I'm asking you now, eh? Who are you? Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm asking just a simple question. You see, that's why I allowed the people to ask me question. But sometimes I like also to ask question. Are you? What differ you as a human being? Vague. My goodness. Okay, let's. Prabhu. Yes, tell. Okay, that's. Okay. I can't say no to that. You have put God first. I can't say no to it. Mataji, you're hiding there. You're still thinking about it. All right. So, you. Maybe you have the answer. No? Takune? Ay, ay, ay. We should be soon. No, Ipada? Oh. And the soul. Who is the soul? Okay. So, you are Googling it quickly. You're checking it online quickly. So, what differ you as a human being? No, you're conscious of so many things and you're aware of so many things. But there is one quality. That differ you from human being and animal. Discernment. You're not too far away. It's similar, but Prantapa. Knowledge. That's what differ you, And knowledge of what? Knowledge of the atma itself, When you have that knowledge of the atma, that automatically will give you a certain understanding that life itself is bringing you to your dharma itself. If you allow that flow of life itself, you will be guided to your dharma. There is not much things that you have to do. You see, very often spiritual people think that we have to do great things to be able to do our dharma. No, you have to have the knowledge of the atma itself. When you have the knowledge of the atma, you will know that life, how it is programmed in itself, for you to take birth itself, there is the destination to reach. And the atma aim is not what you have said about. It's completely different from what you imagine about. That's why you see you can have everything, yet how many people die being happy? Most of the people died in a miserable, pitiable state. They died out of fear. They died out of so many things. They are not truly happy. But those great saints, when they passed away, who have really reached that state. Great saint doesn't mean the one who is renounce everything and run into a cave. No, I'm talking great saints who have lived into the world itself, is still living into the world itself. But yet, that state of complete attachment to Bhagavan himself, that have given them the life purpose itself. Chapter 9, verse 29 of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said that those great souls, who have detached from everything, those great souls, he used the word have detached, from everything, but yet they are ever in communion with him. So here it says that they didn't live a life that, completely, out of this world. No, they were into this world. They have everything, but their attachment is not towards the things that they were doing. They were attaching themselves to something which is higher. So if you attach yourself to that higher truth, automatically you will be pulled like a magnet toward that higher truth. So where your mind is focused, that becomes your reality. If your mind is focused upon the external reality, you will be pulled toward that external reality. And the fruit of that external reality will be the misery also. Because like I said earlier, you see, you have billions, you will have to worry how to keep it. You will have to worry how to make it more. you will never be really at peace with yourself. So, but when you are truly happy with yourself, you have find that aim, automatically you will be guided towards your dharma. But you have to have that knowledge of the atma. Without knowledge of the atma, you can do everything, but yet you will still be unhappy. You can have everything, you still will be unhappy. That's why I asked you the question first, who are you? You will give me your CV? That is not who you are. I'm not interested. I'm not giving you a job into this world. I want another CV that will take you out of this world. Give me that CV. I'll give you that job. You understand? Little bit. But I would like you all to read Bhagavad Gita. Not just reading it, it's too big. How long is your life? You have life, no? Or you're dying tomorrow? Oh, we don't know. Anything is possible. Once a beggar, a Brahmin came to Yudhishthir and said to Yudhishthir, please give me some alms. No? Give me some, some money, because my daughter is getting married. And Yudhishthir said, come tomorrow. Bhim heard that and said, so we should celebrate. So he organized a big party, make decoration everywhere, and lots of people was invited. So Yudhishthir was wondering, what is happening now in the kingdom? Why he's the king? Nobody have consulted him. So he asked, and they said Bhim have arranged for a party. So he called Bhim and said to Bhim, what is this party about? I said, I am celebrating that you have come to the point of knowing that tomorrow you will be alive. I said, how? So you told that man to come tomorrow. But this is the whole thing. When you go to bed at night, you go with the hope that you will wake up. Anything can happen. All your dreams, all your, hopes, all your agenda, all your lists that you have. To-do list, this is the word I was looking for. All of them can be finished. And yet, we are so proud, so arrogant, so egoistic when it comes to. And we walk, like Kabir said, like a big elephant tramping over the earth. And yet Mother Earth laughs at everybody. That I have seen so many like you. How many have come? How many have gone? How many have become that soil which is under, which you're walking upon? That's what this body is made up of. That body is made up of this 5 elements. It will go back again to the earth. The whole thing, when you are in a life, you have to take that chance of knowing who you are and forging a relationship with the one who have sent you here. Knowing oneself is not just enough. That relationship, to that supreme reality, it is very important to forge that relationship with. That is a dharma. The true dharma is that relationship that we have with him. If life, they say, yes, I want to realize oneself, how many people have realized themselves yet fall also? Many people have realized that they have come to a very high degree of realization, but yet, because there is no relationship with Bhagwan, that grace was not there. And what keep really that relationship is only when that grace is attained. Grace made that gratitude fortified and hold it strongly. Without grace, you will become ungrateful again. You can be self-realized, but yet you are not attained to that grace, to that God realization. Can you please put the child out? Thank you. Oh, there. Any more question? No? Yes.
Guruji, you were just asking what makes the difference between humans and animals, that it's knowledge. And often people can take this and use it as an excuse that animal or human beings are superior to animals. And my question is, you know, in the modern age, veganism, vegetarianism is becoming more and more popular for various reasons, the climate, health, moral and ethical reasons. But often we don't hear the spiritual perspective of why it's so important, spiritually speaking.
You see, in spirituality, we learn to treat life with respect, you know. When you grow spiritually, you perceive this atma, the journey of the atma itself, you know. It's not that you don't have any clue of that, you know. That is the whole thing. People don't want to see the spiritual path of that. Okay, we respect the animal, but you see, life have gone through this 8.5 million incarnation, and throughout this incarnation that you have passed through the animal also, so you have a certain connection to that realm as well. So in the spiritual path, you know, we learn to respect that essence of divinity in all creation. And that's why, you see, those which is on the spiritual path, they respect the plant, they respect, you see, especially in Hinduism, you will see that, you know, there is a great respect for the plants, there is great respect for the animal itself, you know. So we don't take life. Of course, some are deranged mental, they think by giving life, God will propitiate them, you know. That's what Krishna said. Those who pray to the devas will go to the devas. Those who pray to God, to the ghost, will go to the ghost. You know. So you see, due to the, lack of knowledge of the self, they treat the animal in a inferior state. They don't have any idea that yes, once I was that. And through that I'm moving forward. So, for example, you know, you were talking about veganism and vegetarianism, you know. Why do you think on the spiritual path we say to be vegetarian and or to be vegan? You know, vegan is a new concept actually, but this is a state of human. Science have always said that human are not, even designed to eat animal product, you know. It is fructivore, you know. So we are designed to eat fruits, you know. So nowadays, if you ask somebody to be fructivore, what do you say? No, I can't. But your whole design, your whole thing, you see, the arrangement of your teeth, your digestive system, your brain itself, how it functions, it is all based upon a certain quality of food that you can eat. But people would not like to hear that because they like to munching everything. That's why the result of that is an unhealthy mind. With an unhealthy mind, you have an unhealthy body. This is due to so many illnesses happening into this world. What we put in ourselves, that what will come out also. What would you say on that?
So I just used the example of this completely new disease that emerged a few years ago. So America is one of the biggest commercial pig farming takes place in America. And so as a result of this, there is the excess of manure from pigs. And very few companies invest in the processing of this manure. So when there are natural disasters like storms, or when there are leaks that take place, that raw manure ends up in water. And so what they noticed in the south of the US is this really strange collection of symptoms that started emerging in fish. And so it went from fish to humans to other animals that were in contact with this manure. So what you then see is whole new ways for people to die just from the desire to satisfy our taste for bacon, for example. And so the way that it has been working is so many new things have emerged. Like the World Health Organization, for example, declared that all processed meats, and when you look at the new eating trends in Mauritius especially, there are now so many fast food restaurants, like McDonald's is here, KFC is here, all of these are here. And what has also happened is the number of cancer patients and hypertension and have exponentially they increase with the consumption of those foods. So when we see, like Guruji is saying, that knowledge is so important, when you have the knowledge that this thing is going to kill me. So how will you even figure out your dharma if you are so busy killing yourself because of something that you want to temporarily taste? The taste doesn't last forever. And if you don't see that all of those things have an effect, like what happens to the oil from those restaurants? What happens to the, okay, so you eat some of the animals that get processed. What happens to the others? In egg farming, for example, male chickens are useless. On the day that they're born, they're ground up and become feed for their mothers, basically, so that you can have eggs. In the milk industry, a cow's life is 4 years so that you can have milk. And so you see the effect, like when you consume even just something as simple as milk, it looks like, oh, I'm just putting a few drops in my tea. But it's a bigger picture. You are complicit to that it's okay to treat this animal like this, and there's a consequence for you. It's not so easy. And then people say, okay, but vegetables have feelings too. We are killing so many. In the Vedic science, if you are following for example, just the teachings of the Guru, and you are executing the instructions, 16 rounds of japa every day, right? He's saying a portion of that goes to cover the karma for eating plants. none of it is given to killing animals. In fact, the punishment in Vedas is that if you eat an animal, like a cow, for example, you must incarnate as many times as there are hairs on the body of the animal. So now imagine if you have eaten 100, equivalent to 100 cows, how many lives, how much suffering? So like this, and the generational curse that you give to your children, the pain that you give to them. I know so many people who are vegetarian, but their children are not vegetarian. So you have to weigh up and see that when you have knowledge, you can make different choices. When you make different choices, there can be different results, and it starts with each of us.
So you see, without knowledge of that, you see, you don't know how to treat the animal. Do you have any question? Una question? Nobody have any question?
Yet with so much knowledge of all those things and such respect and devotion to the gods, to Hinduism and such, and with this awareness that this nature is in a way a representation of that, of this higher being in universality, why yet do we keep destroying it?
Because you're stupid. That's why. You see, the problem is that you see people hear the knowledge, but they don't go deeper into it. You see, just like you see, for example, nowadays spirituality is a trend. Go to America, everybody is following a certain trend. You know, when you want to give them the deepness of spirituality itself, you know, they don't want that. It's just like the coating sugar. You know, everybody have to do yoga. You know, everybody have to dress in a certain way. You know, I'm very spiritual, but that don't lead anywhere. This is the problem. They hear all this, yes, but for a very short time. They will go and manifest on the road just for one day, but that don't change anything in them. You know, if it's, true spirituality is what have touched you and transform you, and that you can see. It's very few. That's why Bhagavan Krishna said many are called, but only few really come to that point of realization. And even that few, only one will get to know who I am, because it is so rare in itself. That rarity of really go deeper and deeper, no matter what, into that spiritual path, it's quite rare. I'm still looking for somebody, me. So really, it's easy to say, you know, yes, you know, there's so knowledge or whatever, but knowledge doesn't mean what you're hearing only. Hearing without assimilating it will not change anything. It's like you're listening now, beautiful words, yes or no? Sounds beautiful. I guess so, I don't know. Tomorrow you will go out to say, what did he say? I didn't understand anything. That's what will happen. Because some of you may appear you're listening, but in reality you're sleeping. You're thinking, when will I eat? My stomach is paining. So it is not only what you say. You said like a professor outside, it may teach a certain subject, but it have nothing in affinity to that subject. You know, when he go back home, he's back to his old self. Like that, you see, many will teach this knowledge on the outside, but they don't go deeper into really of living that. But those who live that knowledge, they have that clear understanding, and they're clear with themselves. But yet, I know what is my path. That is the knowledge of discrimination. When you have that knowledge of discrimination, then you will know what it is right and what is wrong, without any judgment. That is discernation also. Because it is easy to say how you say, because the ground are very shallow. Now when the ground are shallow, it's easy. There's no, you can walk very easily, nicely, but when it's got to get deeper and deeper, you don't want to adventure. Like that, there's many people like this. Because deeper it goes, more you will have to face yourself. More you have to face yourself, more you have to see also part of you who you didn't want to see. That's why many people don't adventure into that. Spirituality is very beautiful, but it can be also very dangerous if you're not ready. That's why I always say, the path of love, you have to become the spiritual path. You have to become a gambler. The difference between a gambler and a businessman would do his business. If it works, it works. It doesn't work, it will go look somewhere else. But a gambler will persist. But then sit and wait. You still have, you can sit and wait. There are still some 427,000 years to go for this kalpa to finish.
Path that every soul sort of follows. In Kabbalah, it says, first you follow your basic needs, then you follow sort of wealth, then you follow.
Yeah, look, that
power,
is not
knowledge, and then spirituality.
It's not separate. Let's say in Kabbalah they're separated because there's a certain structure to it. But in Hinduism there's no separation into that, They said you can live your spirituality because all these are spirituality. Spirituality doesn't mean that you have to sit and meditate, not work. Spirituality means find me in whatever you're doing. In all what you do, I am there. So that is spirituality, and that is Kriya itself. When we talk about Kriya, we are talking about finding that essence of spirituality in each moment of your life, in each things that you do, in which attitude you're doing it, Because when you do something, it is also imprinted with your own personality into that. Because you're giving part of yourself into that. And when you're giving part of yourself into that, that things also will reflect upon. Let's say you're doing a job, being in an angry mood. Do you think you will be able to give your best into that? No, you will never be. But if you are in a joyful state and doing it, you will bring the best result. And if you are even more into the blissful state of God's love, you will reflect that divinity into what you are doing also. So it is not separate. No. Okay. Jai Gurudev, all of you. It was lovely having you all. Sing one bhajan? Which one? I don't know how. Where's my book? You know how to sing bhajan? You sing? Which one? I have a book. Let me check one. Easy one, eh? You all have to, you know how to sing, hein? Tu connais comment chanter, non? Depuis l'année dernière, vous êtes pratiqué, non? Pratiqué ou pas pratiqué? हे भगवान, हे भगवान, हे भगवान, हे भगवान। हे भगवान, हे भगवान, हे भगवान, हे भगवान, हे भगवान। भगवान, 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 हे भगवान, हे भगवान, हे भगवान। कृष्ण भगवान, कृष्ण भगवान, श्री कृष्ण भगवान, कृष्ण भगवान, कृष्ण भगवान, श्री कृष्ण भगवान, कृष्ण भगवान। भगवान, 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 Bhagavan, Giridhari 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 Bhagavan, 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 Rama Bhagavan, Rama Bhagavan, Rama Bhagavan, Shri Rama Bhagavan,
Bhagavan, Rama Bhagavan, Rama Bhagavan, Shri Rama Bhagavan,
Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai.
Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma,
Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai.
Jai Ma, Jai Ma,
Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma. Hari Bol, 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 Hari Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Nrsingadev, Nrsingadev, Jaya Nrsingadev, 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 Jaya Nrsingadev, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Shri Vishwananda Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
प्रेम से बोलो सतगुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वनानंद महाप्रभु की
Jai